Now, the Groundlings Theatre is one of those venues in Portsmouth that always seems to be evolving. One minute you're watching a play, the next it's a party for princesses, a ghost hunt one day, and a festival celebrating the inventor of the umbrella the next. But now the venue's artistic director has called upon some of his showbiz pals for the theatre's first ever comic convention. Well, Richard, thank you so much for coming in, and as we said there, it's kind of an evolving theatre. There's always something different happening there.
There is, and it's such a unique space. There is nothing like it in the country, really. It's quite a unique theatre, and it's we have the wonderful option that we don't have fixed seating, so we can adapt and change that beautiful venue in any way we like to. So it's a very universal sort of space to use, really.
And of course then it opens it up to a whole wealth of different, not only productions, but kind of weird and wonderful events. So obviously we said there you have the Umbrella Festival for the last few years as well, which is always quite popular.
Yeah, very much so. And it means that you can do things like you can put stalls into the main auditorium, you can change the auditorium round, you can have people sat in different areas, and you can play about with that space much more than you can do perhaps in a traditional theatre where you have the stage set at one end and the seating all at the other as well.
Now, some of our viewers may remember that we've spoken to you before, roughly about May last year, I think it was. And that's because you were actually in 2 Star Wars films.
Yeah, so I had the great opportunity of auditioning for 2 of the Star Wars films for George Lucas, and was cast in Episode 2 and Episode 3 of the prequels. And so I played Obi-Wan Kenobi's double. And stunt double, so that meant I got to do some lightsabering and jumping around and doing some of the lines for him and everything else, which was fab. And then I used to hang around on set quite a lot, only because I was quite a big fan of Star Wars myself as a child. So I ended up playing Poggle the Lesser, who invented the Death Star, which meant I was responsible for 6 billion people's deaths. But
fictional, not real.
Fictional, not real. No. Don't want the police turning up on my door. And then I was everything from clone troopers. I was even a female droid, believe it or not, version of C-3PO.
Wow.
So I got to play all different types of characters and read in for this, that, and the other. So yeah, it was good fun.
And I've spoken to a few different actors that have been in the Star Wars series, and apart from the fact that you do play several different characters, they always say it's very much a family kind of atmosphere, and you make some really good friends, and actually some of those really good friends are going to be helping you out at your first comic convention.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, you have an awful lot of time in film, sat around chatting while they're setting up the lights, the cameras, and the sound and everything else. So you do get to know people very well. I mean, it's a huge amount of hard work, particularly for the crew, more so than I think for the actors. But it is, you know, a real sort of family atmosphere, and you all have a passion and a drive to make that film as fantastic and the best work that you can possibly do. And that's what I think brings people together so much in the film industry, that is that passion and drive, because everybody desperately wants to do it.
Fantastic. And as well as kind of the autograph signs, things like that, I've been to a few other conventions, but you really want to make this a very interactive experience for people to come along to.
Yeah, I mean, the space at Groundlings is just so unique. So what we're doing is we're taking the idea of the venue itself, which is very much like Hogwarts almost, you know, with beautiful sky ceilings and candle chandeliers hanging down, secret passageways and all sorts of things. So it's got a magical experience already. So that fits in very well with the theme of a lot of sci-fi and a lot of fantasy films. And we're going to enhance that. So we're going to have a Harry Potter section, an Addams Family section. There'll be a Back to the Future whole section, Star Wars, etc. So that people can feel part of it and experience it almost like they're actually in the movie itself. And we're having lots and lots of reenactors and actors who'll be playing parts, etc. So it's a real sort of experience, as well as a convention celebrating those films.
Amazing. But we were talking a little bit before also as well that you've got plenty of space as well if there were any local kind of crafts people or kind of crafty geeks out there that wanted to have a stall at the convention. You've still got plenty of space for them to apply.
Yes, we do. We've only just started the preparations. We've been really concentrating on the entertainment side of things and getting really good signers as well, and that's been really important. So we're just starting now on getting stalls and people who want to sell things. So if they want to bring something to the convention, then to get in contact with us, definitely.
I suppose that's kind of one of the key things about any convention, is that as well as meeting kind of the famous faces, or sometimes the faces behind the scenes, it's kind of all the memorabilia and kind of the crafty bits that kind of really make it special, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's we've got an R2-D2 there who's coming, and various other droids, and it's those experiences, and people can chat to other people about and what they think of the films that they've seen, etc. Because again, all the fans are just as passionate about them as they are the people in the show, in the films, etc. themselves. So it's a real nice bringing together of both mediums, if you like, together. And
you were saying as well before that all the proceeds are going to help preserve and restore the theatre.
Yes, so they will, everything that's made on the day will go to the restoration of the venue itself. Being a building that's about 230 years old, obviously it's an old lady, and it needs a lot of TLC. So we're hoping to restore a lot of the windows in the building and various other things as well, to make it look as beautiful as it possibly can do.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure as anybody kind of watching the show knows, I'm a massive geek myself, so I will definitely be there. But I suppose the main important thing we need to tell people is, when is it, where is it, and how do we come along?
Well, it's on Saturday the 28th and Sunday the 29th of July. It starts at 11 o'clock and finishes at 5 both days. And you can buy tickets at the box office, which is 023 9273 7370, or they can visit the website, which is www.groundlings.co.uk. And of course, if anyone's interested in a stall, they can come through the box office as well on the same number.
Excellent. Richard, it's been an absolute pleasure once again. Thank you so much for coming in.
Indeed. Thank you very much.